Hey guys, Garrett here, and today I want to share with you the exact cost of what it took to build my DIY ICF house. Now, throughout the entire project, I kept every single receipt and I actually put it in a folder that ended up being about 4 inches thick. And up until yesterday, I had no idea what I actually spent on the house to build it. So I tallied up everything, went line item by line item, created every single one of them, and I'm gonna share it with you. Now, I spent 2 years building my own ICF dream home, and this is the home that we plan to stay in forever. And I've made a bunch of videos regarding that, hopefully to help you guys through your journey as well. So let me give you a real quick recap. The house that we built is 6,000 square feet, so it's 3,000 on the main level, 3,000 in the basement. It also has a 1,000 square foot attached garage that's also drywalled and electrified and insulated. So if you tally up all the finished square feet, it's 5,400 finished square feet with another 600 square feet of storage. All of this is situated on 7.8 acres, of which I got for free. I made a video about that. If you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link to it at the end of this video. My intent is to take you in line by line through my budget of what it actually cost. Tell you about the things that are within each of those line items, as well as tell you the things that I contracted out. Because I did probably 80 to 85% of the work, but I did have to have some of it done by others. The first line item are the plans, and that cost $3,415. Of which $2,500 of it was the actual modification to the plans to make it an ICF plan. I bought my plans through designbasics.com. Next we have the permits, and that cost $2,527. And that's followed up by the electrical service, which cost $6,500. And that was installed by my electric co-op, so that was actually contracted out. Next, we have everything associated with the ICF. Now that includes the truss hangers, the ICF blocks themselves. I got build block blocks, as well as all of the waterproofing that goes with it, the dimple stuff, the stick-on stuff, plus the primer that goes with it. And that was $26,733. That's followed by the lumber and trusses, which is $43,960. It's quite a big chunk of the budget, but that includes everything that's lumber. Next is the roof and the gutters. Now I did the roof myself, but I had the gutters done. So that came out to $10,646, of which the gutters came out to about 1,600 of it, and again, I had those done. Next, we have all of the exterior covering, so like the siding, the trim, the stone, all of that kind of stuff, and that came out to $14,583. And I did have a little bit of the siding, specifically in my gables, installed by someone else, and that cost $1,600 of those dollars. Next is the plumbing, and this includes basically everything that is plumbing. So the water supply, as well as all of the drains, and even the foundation drains, sump pumps, that sort of stuff. It also includes the fixtures and the hoses and pipes and everything associated with that. So that came out to $15,397. And I did have all of the drain plumbing put in. I did all of the pressure stuff, as well as the sump pump and the area drains and all that kind of stuff. Then we have the water well, and again, that also was drilled by someone else. This cost is just the drilling of the well, and that was $2,442. All of that water has to go somewhere, and I have a big lot, so I was allowed to put a lagoon in place, and I'm not allowed to do that myself. The county requires me to hire an actual licensed drain layer to do that, so I had to have that done as well, and it cost $8,100. Next is all of my heating and air components, all of the HVAC. That cost $26,366, and I did hire out the duct work. I had all of that put in place, but beyond that, I did everything myself. And I have 2 geothermal units, so those are pretty darn expensive. So that's part of the reason this line item is fairly expensive. But as I'll talk about later, there's tax credits and that sort of stuff that offset some of that cost. And you just can't beat the efficiency of these units. They're just awesome. Next is the electrical, and I did all of the electrical myself, so that came out to $9,426, and within the electrical is even all of the lighting and the switches and just basically anything that is electrified is included in this one. After that is my solar system. So I did put a 5 kilowatt system in, used in-phase inverters, and then tied it back. It's a grid tie system. So that cost $10,844, and within that is actually the home run that goes from the electric pole all the way to my house. And the reason it's in this line item is for tax reasons. I can actually deduct part of that out of it. Next, we have the concrete and rebar, and this line item includes some of what I had done. So I did a little bit of the flat work myself. If you watched any of my other videos, I did the basement pour myself, and that was just stupid. I filled all the walls, I did all of the footings, but I did have the garage floor, the slab in front of it, the sidewalk, as well as the porch done professionally. So this line item came out to $44,120, and it also includes the pumper truck. Then we have the drywall, and if I tell anyone anything is to hire this out. They are so good, they are so fast, it just does not make sense to do yourself. So to do my entire house cost $27,700, and that's to do 5,400 square feet of finished area plus an entire garage. After that we have paint, which includes the interior and exterior paint. On the exterior side of it, I did have a crew come and paint the outside of it as well as caulk it, but total was $4,468. I painted everything on the inside. Next are the cabinets and countertops, and this includes vanities as well as their tops as well. So that came out to $26,992. Our cabinets were all solid cherry, and they were all custom made, so they are a little more expensive. After that we have insulation, and that cost $3,151. After that we have flooring, which cost $28,904. This was a pretty big line item. We have actual real hickory floors within the house as well as carpets, and both of those I had installed professionally. And then we also have porcelain tile, I don't know, quite a bit, probably 600-700 square feet of it. I did that. After that we have doors, windows, and interior trim. And we used pretty good quality vinyl windows. All of the doors are solid knotty alder doors, as well as the trim is knotty alder. We were going for kind of a craftsman-y look, so we like the look of actual stained wood, and that's what we went with here. That cost $28,921, and that's for all of the doors on the main level as well as the basement. Then we have the appliances. Now we already had a really nice refrigerator, so we just needed to buy a stove, a range hood, and a dishwasher, and that cost $1,943. And then there's the miscellaneous, and to be honest, this is kind of the catch-all. You know, I was looking at these receipts. Some of them are 4 years old at this point, and I couldn't figure out what the heck they were. So these are everything that didn't fit into another category, or I just didn't know what it was. So that came out to $13,957. And then we have the rental fees. And I'll be completely honest, whenever I made my budget for this build, I did not put much in for rental fees, and so this blew me away. It ended up being $12,792 overall just in rental fees. So between mini excavators, concrete vibrators, telehandlers, you know, just all kinds of stuff that you don't necessarily know you need. They cost a lot of money, and you're going to use them a heck of a lot more and longer than you ever thought you would. And then finally we have the driveway as well as the rock associated with building or backfilling and all of that kind of stuff. And that was around $12,000. Now I brought most of that material in myself. I have a small dump truck, so I made just $1 million back and forth runs to the rock quarry, but I did the majority of it. Our driveway is a 1/4 mile long, so you can imagine just how much rock that actually takes. So if you add all of these things up, this comes up to the actual cost of the house, and it is $385,887. We also have a 3,300 square foot shop that I actually built prior to building the house, and that also costs about $25,000. And if you remember, the land was free, so at this point the actual total is $410,887. But don't click off yet. That doesn't tell the whole story yet. I also have some rebates and credits that I can take off of this. So my house, I bought a whole bunch of the material at Menards, and they run all kinds of rebate sales, like 11% rebates, or I don't know, a lot of times we bought stuff during the Black Friday times, of which they have huge rebates at that point. Anyway, if you added up all of those rebates, it comes to about 20,000 bucks. So I got $20,000 worth of rebates back from them, of which then I bought some of that material that I talked about before. So that's a minus 20,000. On top of that, our electric co-op also gave us a credit because we put in geothermal system and we put in a lifetime water heater. So we had $1,900 worth of credit from them as well. So they just gave us a check for 1,900 bucks. Also, the federal government gives you a tax credit on the solar as well as the geothermal. So I spent a lot of money on those two systems, but I had a 30% tax credit. So that credit came out to $11,041. So if you subtract all of those rebates and credits off of the actual cost of the property, it was $377,946 actually spent. And when I say actually spent, there were actually a few other ways that we subtracted some more cost from it. We got creative with credit cards. So we would get one that had like a $500 bonus if you spent $4,000. So I would get one of those and my wife would get one of those. So there's another $1,000 that you could take off. And we did that several times with different credit cards. Some of them could have been $250 or $300, but we did about as much as we could to get more money off of it. These numbers that I'm giving you don't take that into account, but it's just one more way that you can offset some of the cost, because you know that you're going to be spending this money, so why not get every benefit that you possibly can. Plus, get a credit card that has a high cash back. So, a lot of them are 1%. You could get one that's 1.5% or 2%. In the grand scheme, when you're spending this much money, it adds up to a whole lot of money off the back end. All right, so for those of you that are gonna build your own ICF house, I wanna break this down even more. So like I said, I was at $377,946 is what it actually took to build the whole property. But let's say you didn't build the shop, so that's minus 25,000. So that takes us down to $352,946 to do everything that I did minus the shop. So if you divide that by the square footage of the house, the actual floor square footage is 6,000 square feet, not including the garage. That's another 1,000 square feet. But anyway, if interior square footage, it's 6,000 square feet. You divide that out, it comes out to $58.82 per square foot. Or you can divide it by the finished square feet, which is 5,400. That comes out to $65.36 per square feet. Hopefully that's helpful for you guys. Again, that's DIY, but as I went through all of those numbers, again, I told you what it was spent on as well as what I had done by others. Now, if you're looking at this, you're probably thinking, my gosh, I don't think I could ever get it down that much. But remember that my land was free. I made a whole video on that. If you want to see it, I'll leave a link of it at the end of this video. I have to admit that if I was to build this today with today's lumber prices, my costs would have probably gone up by at least $80,000. The lumber prices are just insane right now, but the project was started November of 2016 and I finished it December of 2018. So that gives you the time period. And I live just outside of Wichita, Kansas, so I am in the Midwest. I hope this was helpful, guys. Leave me a comment down below if it was, and I'd sure love to know what you guys that do your own DIY stuff come up with as far as cost per square foot. See if mine is in the ballpark or not. Make sure to hit that like button down below as well as subscribe. I'll see you next time.